All right, so this is easy. We've kind of already talked about how everything is broken down, where the money is. We talk about how the payout actually works as far as like the entity and maybe how long it takes. For example, the non-feature performers fund. You talked about
Oh,
that.
got you. So I'm back. I'm gonna go back a
Let's
little
go
bit
back a
further. Right?
little bit.
So music is played on Spotify.
Yeah.
There's multiple revenue streams with that.
Mm-hmm.
There's, like we talked about, the streaming money that's interactive.
Yeah.
That goes directly to the artist.
Yeah.
Most artists get that money monthly.
Yeah.
They're not signed to a major.
Yeah.
If they sign to a major, they have their own deal
Payout.
structure.
Mm.
Then there's the publisher mechanical. That's usually your admin company or your publisher
Yeah.
collecting that from the master side as well. That
Yeah.
publishing mechanical rate, they're doing that. Those are usually 6 months. Those are biannually, twice a year,
Got it.
right? Then there's the non-interactive, the performance royalty for the master. That's
Yeah.
what we've been talking about, right?
Yeah.
That money goes to Sound Exchange,
Yeah.
right? And now when that gets to Sound Exchange will pay that money. Well, the rights owner and the featured performer, they will take, if a dollar comes in,
Yeah.
they keep that 95% there, but they'll send the other 5 to the fund.
Got it.
AFM, SAG-AFTRA, intellectual property,
Yeah.
distributed fund, right?
That's too many words. Every
So
single
let's just
time.
say the fund.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Sound Exchange part first.
Got it.
So Sound Exchange usually holds that money and doesn't pay it until 9 months,
Got it.
right?
Yeah.
Maybe even a year sometimes.
Yeah.
So when somebody says to me, "Oh, Bruce, I get my Sound Exchange every month," it's actually 9 months from broadcast.
Got it.
You're just getting it monthly.
Got it.
So if you get your money in September, it was broadcasted in January. You get your
Got it.
money in
October, it was
October,
February.
it's February,
Yeah.
and most of the time it's kind of done quarterly.
Got it.
So that is the Sound Exchange CMO side, right?
Got it.
Then the fund
Yeah.
pays once a year.
Got it.
So that's usually like the end of every April. And if there's any mistakes or if there's anything that's like they need to like fix or adjust,
Yeah.
they'll do a payment in December.
Got it.
But if you are with unclaimed royalties and say your situation is it was a claim and something was fixed, you get that immediately. You don't have to wait. But when it's actually like a royalty coming every year, consistently every year,
Yeah.
once a year,
Yeah.
April. Now, internationally, every country has their own payout date. Their splits are completely different. Everything is just different.
Yeah.
So that'll take me forever to go through for each society.
I think that was good. No, that
but
was
that's
good.
how it is.
So something that was really spectacular. You said it was dealing with going directly through Series and XM, and it was this phenomenal 90% quote that you said earlier.
Oh yeah, I was saying that 90% of the money that goes to Sound Exchange comes from SiriusXM, which now owns Pandora.
Got it.
So when you look at Apple, Tidal, Spotify, for all of their non-interactive play on those DSPs,
Yeah.
they only equate for 10% of the money that goes to Sound Exchange.
Wow.
The other 90 is Pandora and SiriusXM. And some people will be like, why? Well, Pandora, it's just playing. It's radio.
Yeah.
Or if you're driving in your car, you don't pick what you want to do. You change the station,
Exactly.
but you don't choose the songs.
Got it. Makes
That's
sense.
the difference between non-interactive and interactive.
Yeah.
So on the DSP sites, not sites, but on the DSPs, there's interactive and non-interactive going on, and you have a subscription. So you're focused more on the interactive side because you're like, I don't like this, we play that.
Absolutely.
Oh, I want to hear this. You know what I mean? That's what you're paying for. So the non-interactive side is not so dominant.
Yeah.
You know? But with SiriusXM and Pandora, 90% of it is predominantly online radio.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But again, Spotify, Tidal, Apple, even these college radio stations, online podcasts, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
All of those together combined is only 10% of the money going into Sound Exchange.
That's insane.
The 90% is coming from SiriusXM and Pandora.
Okay.
Because everybody has a car.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Unless you're in New York, then it's a different situation.
all day. Or think about it though. Think about the older couple, older like our senior citizens, right? Our
Yeah,
elders, right? Like
yeah,
they're not on Spotify.
yeah,
They're on
yeah.
Pandora,
Of course, yeah,
right? So that's where they're at.
of course,
So they're not trying to move things around or anything like that.
yeah.
So same thing. They just turn it on, listen to radio. It's all good.
Okay, so with that, so now we're kind of clear on what we are clear on how the money comes in. Let's, if we can, do something like a follow the money, like a chart, if you could.
Oh man, the easiest way to do it is you make your song, you put it up through an aggregator, TuneCore step, boom. The next step, it goes to the DSPs.
Yeah.
The DSPs have multiple revenue streams. They have the streaming money, which is interactive money. They have the non-interactive money, right? And then they also have the mechanical publisher. So that's 3 revenue streams that they're paying out.
Yeah.
So most people think that it's just the streaming.
Yeah.
But it's actually 2 other royalties that they're paying out.
Absolutely.
And that money, the non-interactive money, goes to CMOs, which we explained. This is Sound Exchange. The publisher mechanical publisher share.
Yeah.
That's going through either your publisher or that's going to you directly through an administrator. Like I think Song Trust does that kind of stuff. TuneCore actually does it as well too.
Yeah.
And then there's the interactive.
Yeah.
So interactive is monthly. Non-interactive is pretty much, it's monthly too, but they don't pay out
Yeah.
until like a month, 9 months to a year later. And then there's the published mechanical, but that varies depending on what your deal is.
Got it.
So that's how the money flows.
Yeah. So that's perfect. So what about unclaimed royalties? Because we've been talking about claimed royalties and how to claim them, but what about unclaimed royalties, like a result of not registering properly?
You mean
Like name
payout?
spellings wrong, producers, and see what I mean?
Oh, definitely. So like everything I'm saying is if you do it right.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. So that's you did it wrong.
Right. So if you did it wrong or you didn't do it at all, one of the main reasons why you would be a part of unclaimed royalties, like you said, names being spelled wrong, not being clear about what your role is, being educated on what your role is.
Yeah.
So even if you had the information in front of you to sign up, you wouldn't even know who or what you are, right?
Yeah.
And then, it's hard to kind of find that information,
Yeah.
right? But that's where unclaimed royalties are predominantly when it's on the master side, the sound recording side.
Yeah.
On the composition side, there's not really a lot of unclaimed royalties. Be honest with you. Like it's because ASCAP, BMI, they've been around for what? ASCAP is 100 years. They've kind of got it some, and they have their rules and regulations where it's like if you haven't claimed the song or didn't register it in 18 months, it's gone. Yeah. So there is no unclaimed royalties because if you hit that 18-month mark, you can't go get it because they can't. It's radio. It's terrestrial radio. It's linear, right?
Yeah.
But like with digital, you can track it.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying? So, and the digital tracking is predominantly on the master side.
Got it. So with that, like producer LODs.
Yes, definitely. So if you're a producer and you want to participate on the sound exchange side, the reason why you will find unclaimed royalties is because you didn't send in your letter of direction. Or you didn't know that's what you needed to do, or maybe like in my case, where I did was when I did my Justin Bieber records, I did do my letter of direction years ago, like back in 2010, right? 2009. Yeah. But we never sent them in. We didn't know. We just was like, "What's this? All right, cool." Yeah. Everybody signed on it. Yeah. And then last year when we were trying to like make it make sense, we were like, Sound Exchange was like, "Yo, that's old. So you got to get it done all over again."
Wow.
So then we had to go back to Justin, Scooter, and everybody. They did it. We got it squared away, and then we sent everything back in. We just have a great relationship with the artist, so it's cool. Yeah. A lot of people don't have that. Yeah. Or the artist probably spent the money already, right? Yeah. So because right? So like think about it, like they probably got the money, spent it already, and you're coming back saying, "Well, I need to get this." And then they gotta go, "Wait a minute." Yeah. So then they gotta do calculations or some of the money is going to stop because you're owed money.
Yeah.
And then also it opens up a floodgates for all the other people who did it.
Yeah.
Right? So that's where unclaimed royalties comes in when it comes to the LOD side of it.
Got it.
What I mean? It's just really about getting that paperwork done. I advise that a lot of producers do it with their agreements. Get it done.
Yeah.
Right? Just get it done with your agreement. Get it all done at the same time. Get it out of the way. Most of a lot of the young talent, they just go, let's just do sound exchange, and they'll just do all the splits and that's it. But it always leaves the producer out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or they may structure it, or they'll do other ways where they'll say like so and so featuring so and so, so then they don't need to do the LOD, which is a great way, fast way to do it too, because then everything's all good.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it's down the middle though.
Yeah.
Remember in like on the sound recording side, you can't break up splits and shares. You can't be like, oh, you get 5%. Oh, you get 10%. Doesn't work like that.
So if you say feature, that means they're getting half of that 45%.
Half of that 45%.
Makes sense.
Right?
That actually does make sense. Okay.
So if you do the LOD, it's a percentage of their.
Yeah. So you can actually determine what the percentage is versus feature, you're getting half.
50-50. Exactly. And then what happens is that then, that's where beef starts. Right? Because they'll be like, yo, oh man, you're getting all of that, or like that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah. So what about the claims process, like using the fund?
Okay, cool. So I think I explained some of it, but there's the way the verification process works is you need someone to vouch for you. If you don't have your credits, you need somebody to vouch for you. So they will accept anyone from the record label. The A&R, executive producer, president, or there's the artist, you know what I mean? Or someone in business affairs, like anybody who can vouch for you doing what you say you're gonna do.
Yeah.
That's it. And then you take it, you send it in. We can do it predominantly through email.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's spectacular. So what about various specialty funds, like the Sound Recording Specialty Payments Fund, music videos, SSRD, F, vocal, all that stuff, yeah.
I mean, that's just like anything else. Like, if your credits are right and you're in the system, these other funds will know who to go out, who to come to, look for a search.
Yeah.
If you don't have your credits and things aren't right, they're probably not even collecting, because or they collecting but they don't know who to send it to.
Yeah.
So it's just sitting there.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got some extras. Let's talk about MLC.
Oh, MLC.
Yeah.
I mentioned that about the Music Modernization Act, right? One of the main things they wanted to do was a lot of independent artists are putting up their music and focusing on the interactive side, that flow of the money, right? Remember I told you it was interactive, non-interactive, and it is a mechanical publisher share, right? So what they were finding is that there's a lot of unclaimed royalties in that area because most artists don't have a publisher. They don't, or have someone to administrate their publishing who would normally collect the collections from the DSPs for your mechanical share of the publishing of the mechanical the mechanical publisher share, or the publisher mechanical share. Like, you all know what I mean, right? But honestly, so what the MLC is doing is saying, nah, you don't need, we'll take care of it for you. We'll just collect it for you. We'll get it done. You don't need to be, just like with the unions, you don't need to be part of a union to have that done. You should have that done for you anyway.
Yeah.
And so Harry Fox is taking the lead on it, and that's what they do anyway. But it's just more formal now. You know what I mean? So now all the DSPs now are just gonna pay that money into that fund. Yeah. Not into that fund, but into the MLC, and then once you sign and register, that money just be sitting there for you.
Perfect, makes sense. Now we've already talked about this. I just want to put it here: how the PROs after 18 months, you're not collecting. You can't collect after 18 months.
Can't collect after 18 months. It's
Perfect.
a wrap. It's done.
So I want your final thoughts. Your final thoughts on having a third party do this job for you versus you doing this yourself.
Oh, I think it's always good for a creative to kind of know their business and do what they got to do, but the landscape is actually growing, so the rules and laws and everything are all changing in real time. Like, because this is, in the United States, before streaming, there was no performance royalties like that. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't that like Sound Exchange came when 2004. Didn't start really doing real payments until what 2010.
Yeah.
So you're talking about it's 2020, 10 years. Like it's new.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Spotify is how old? 10 years old. Like this is all new. So I say, focus on your craft, do what you got to do, but like be on top of your shit.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And have like a third party, you know what they're doing. Like say the organization I'm working with, I work for Transparency to do it. Like, and then you can learn while you're doing it. So then after, our deals are like what? We work with somebody for like 2 years. So you take those 2 years, suck up all the information, learn, and then if you want to do it yourself after that, get in the system. And if you want to do it yourself after that, it's all good.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, we're not trying to hold people. We're trying to educate them, let them know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So it's totally fine.
Perfect. So just like for the introduction, we talked about why you did this. Do you have any final thoughts on this topic? Like final thoughts on how artists are not just owed money, but like really just something that's going to incite them, just give them some fire under their ass, basically.
To man, like I would just say, like, let's stop like leaving money on the table. That's really it. We're leaving a lot of money on the table, and someone may say like, it's only $5,000. That's $5,000 that you didn't have. That if you keep doing what you got to do, it can turn to 10, 20, 15, because the more you understand the business and understand this, that's more money you're making.
Yeah.
That's $5,000 additional on top of what you're already doing.
Yeah.
So
every year, right?
So just like any grind or any hustle, like, if you're $5,000 now, you work hard, it doubles. Work hard, triples, and exponentially, you're doing your thing. And I think that's the way to start thinking about it. There's a lot more revenue streams because technology is actually really giving us like freedom.
Absolutely.
It's giving us the freedom we need, and I don't think we're taking advantage of that freedom. I've done it. I'm not everything I'm saying is not based on whoever's listening. I'm talking from experience. Like I'm still registering things and understanding stuff and making it happen, but I have a better sense of what it is. And it's like it's like politics, right? It's like we always thought about the president.
Yeah.
Now we're like the Senate, the House.
Yeah.
Then we're like local.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like I think it's like that. Let's start focusing more on the local level.